Rice farmers suffer heavy losses as yields decline due to disease drought. UNICEF federal government urged media to champion fight against neglected tropical diseases. Agege market seal traders seek Sanwo-Olu's intervention. And away from Nigeria, Cameroon updates that toll in post-election protest to 16. Good evening, this is News Update on Trust TV. I am Chiamaka. Where rice farmers are counting their losses following a poor harvest this year. Compared to previous seasons, many have recorded sharp declines in the yield, raising concerns over food security and future production. Trust TV's Yusho Adamo takes a closer look at the situation.
Compared to last year, rice farmers across Bauchi and its environs have suffered major setback this season. Several farmers who previously harvested hundreds of bags of paddy rice say they are barely managed to get a few bags this year.
To matsalolin da muka samu dai a kan noman shinkafa shine bana dai mu a yankin nan dai ruwa ya kai.
Although we have gotten enough rain, but we have not gotten the expected yields due to lack of application of enough fertilizer, and we attribute this problem to the cost of fertilizers. In one of my farmlands, which I used to get 50 bags previously, this year I only got 35 bags. While large-scale farmers recorded low yields, many smallholder farmers returned home empty-handed as their crops were destroyed by disease and drought. The affected farmers attribute these losses to poor rainfall, pest infestation, and diverse weather conditions.
The cause of poor harvest in Bauchi is due to a number of reasons. One of it is that the rainy season this year, we have a short rainy season. Now we have stayed for about 1 month without rain. And initially, even the rainy season started with sporadic raining. So there is no much rain. Planting takes us up to end of July, and sometimes some places around first week or second weeks of August. So the rice does not get enough rain. We have a lot of drought in the northern part of Bauchi State, where we have a lot of farmers did not even harvest anything from their farms. Secondly, in the area near Bauchi and some central zone of Bauchi, we have the problem of blast. Blast is endemic in this area, and it has devastated a lot of our farms.
Kwaɗan matsala kaɗan da aka samu shine bisa irin shinkafan da muke nomawa.
One of the problems we encountered is application of bad seeds. In a farm that we expect to get 20 bags, we hardly got 4 bags. The cost of seedlings is another factor that contributed to our problem this year. Experts say the crisis poses a significant threat to rice production in the state and requires a holistic approach to address the underlying challenges before the next planting season. Dr. Yahaya Yusuf, chairman of RIPAN in Bauchi, recommends a number of urgent measures to boost farmers' resilience and improve yields.
We are calling on the farmers, on the government, to look into this issue. The cost of input should be subsidized everywhere in the globe, in the world. Countries that are serious, they subsidize these inputs for farmers. They make subsidies in one way or the other. Secondly, government should encourage farmers so that they will be able to go back to farm. Importing rice will cripple the farmers in the country.
He called on the local, state, and the federal government to prioritize interventions such as input supports, irrigation infrastructure, and access to improved seedlings. Until these issues are addressed, farmers warn that Bauchi may face a shortage of rice supply as many may not be able to cultivate their farms in the next season. Yusho Adamu, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The federal government has suspended the proposed implementation of the 15% ad valorem import duty on imported premium motor spirit, PMS, and diesel. This was disclosed in a statement posted on X by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NNPP, on Thursday. According to the Director of Public Affairs, George Eneta, the implementation of the 15% ad valorem import duty on imported premium motor spirit and diesel is no longer in view. President Bola Tinubu had earlier approved the introduction of the tariff to apply to fuel imports into Nigeria. The NMDPRA further assured that there is adequate supply of petroleum products nationwide, maintaining sufficient stock levels to meet demand during the current high consumption period. In political scene, former Kano State Governors Abdullahi Umar Ganduje and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso met Wednesday for the first time since the 2023 general election. The meeting, which took place at the residence of former Bauchi State Governor Ahmad Adamu Mozu in Abuja, was described as cordial, with both leaders exchanging pleasantries. The encounter has sparked interest given the long-standing rivalry between the two politicians. Some observers see it as a significant political moment, potentially marking a new chapter in their relationship. Ganduje has stated that the All Progressives Congress APC is open to welcoming Kwankwaso back into the party, but only if he meets certain conditions. The meeting comes amid speculation about Kwankwaso's potential return to the APC, with some predicting it could impact the party's dynamics and the 2027 general elections. Two members of the House of Representatives from Kano State have officially defected from the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. They are Sagir Ibrahim Koki, representing Kano Municipal Federal Constituency, and Abdul Mumin Jibrin, representing Kuru Bebeji Federal Constituency. The lawmakers were received in the Green Chamber on Thursday by Deputy Senate President Senator Barrow Jibrin, alongside APC National Chairman Nentawe Yilwata, former National Chairman Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, and Chief of Staff to the President Femi Bajabiamila. Several APC chieftains from Kano State were also in attendance to welcome the defectors.
I wish to formally inform you and the entire Honorable House of my decision to resign my membership from the New Nigerian People's Party and to join the All Progressive Congress APC with immediate effect. My decision to leave the NNPP is born out of the deep internal crisis, lack of cohesion, and irreconcilable divisions within the party, both at the national and state levels. These persistent conflicts have created an environment that is no longer conducive for productive political engagement or for the pursuit of the collective aspiration of my constituents. Please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, Honorable Engineer Sagir Ibrahim Koki. My dear brother and colleague, congratulations.
Away from that, United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the federal government have urged journalists and media organizations to play a leading role in raising awareness and changing public behavior towards eliminating neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, in Nigeria. Speaking during a media dialogue on NTD elimination in Bauchi on Thursday, UNICEF Chief of Field Office in Bauchi State, Nuzat Rafik, said poverty, poor sanitation and lack of access to clean water remain key drivers of NTDs. She stressed that communities must adopt cleaner and healthier practices to break the cycle of disease and poverty, noting that NTDs hinder children's growth, education and productivity. Rafik called for strong investment in safe water supply, waste management and household hygiene, while warning against open defecation and reliance on unsafe water sources. Also speaking, Hawa Abubakar, Northeast Zonal Coordinator of the Neglected Tropical Disease Control Program under the Federal Ministry of Health, described NTDS as diseases of poverty that disproportionately affect rural populations. She appealed to the media to amplify accurate information and sustain awareness campaigns, emphasizing that enlightenment remains one of the most powerful tools for prevention and control. A group known as the Concerned Nigerian Citizens has called on the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to withdraw all threats against Nigeria and instead support efforts to address the country's challenges. The group made the call while speaking at the press briefing in Kaduna. Here's more in this report.
Members of the group, including Professor Usman Yusuf, Dr. Aliyu Tilde, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, Barrister Kalli Al-Ghazali, and Dr. Bilkisu Oniyangi, described the U.S. President's decision to list Nigeria as a country of particular concern as unfortunate. They said the actions stem from the failure of Nigerian leaders to fulfill their constitutional responsibility of protecting citizens irrespective of ethnic or religious differences.
Nigerians should not quarrel over who is being killed the most. Every life taken, every kidnapping or assault anywhere in Nigeria matters equally. Those who kill us do not care about our faiths. In many instances, they are people of our own faiths. This battle is between peace-loving Muslims and Christians on the one hand, and others who kill them. Those who brought us to where we are today are our leaders, and we must hold them responsible.
She emphasized that such threats amount to an attempt to undermine the sovereignty of Nigeria and other African nations.
The world needs to take notice of attempts to subvert the sovereignty, cohesion, and strength of Nigeria and other countries in and around the Sahel. Those behind these attempts seek to create a hostile enclave on foundation that will intensify the spread of terror globally.
Professor Usman Yusuf stated that Nigerian leaders have failed to engage the international community effectively to counter false narratives and respond decisively to the ongoing killings across the country. The government has failed to protect its citizens and stop the killings across the land. However, we are telling America that Nigeria is a sovereign nation, and the false narratives they have heard are not true. They should not invade or interfere in Nigeria's internal affairs. Professor Yusuf urged Nigerians not to engage in divisive debates about which region suffers more casualties, stressing that every life lost or person kidnapped matters equally. He noted that criminals targeting Nigerians do not discriminate based on faith or ethnicity. Yalla Musa, Cross TV News Kaduna.
The Nigerian Correctional Service, NCOS, has confirmed the deaths of 2 awaiting trial inmates following an electrical surge at the Uyo Custodial Center in Akwa Ibom State. The State Controller of Corrections, Frank Okonkwo, disclosed this while addressing members of the Correspondence Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, in Uyo. According to him, the incident occurred 2 weeks ago when a faulty transformer near the facility exploded, causing a high-voltage wire to snap and fall within the custodial premises. The surge plunged the center into darkness and resulted in multiple casualties. Okonkwo said the explosion claimed the lives of 2 inmates, injured 2 correctional officers, and destroyed several electrical appliances. He further explained that although first aid was administered and the inmates were rushed to the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, both were later confirmed dead. He described the incident as deeply unfortunate, noting that the deceased were still awaiting trial for conspiracy, kidnapping, and armed robbery, and therefore presumed innocent. The controller added that the families of the deceased had been notified, with one already completing the process to retrieve the remains. However, the bodies would only be released after ongoing investigations are concluded. Two more stories. Troops of the Joint Task Force, JTF, Northeast Operation Hedinkai, have rescued 74 National Youth Service Corps members from a possible abduction by Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists along the Borotai-Kamuyo Road in Borno State. The media information officer of the task force, Sani Uba, disclosed this in a statement on Thursday, noting that the Corps members were intercepted while traveling in 3 buses through the volatile corridor. According to him, a military patrol team was swiftly deployed to the scene after a CCTV system monitored by troops detected suspicious movements involving the vehicles. Uba said the rescued NYSC members are currently being accommodated at the Borotai military base pending further arrangements for their safe relocation to their destinations. The statement reaffirmed the military's commitment to ensuring the safety of citizens and preventing terrorist elements from disrupting peace and stability in the Northeast. Traders along Old Abeokuta Road in Agege are appealing to the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to intervene after the newly elected local government chairman reportedly sealed their market and locked over 100 shops. Victoria Tokolo's report is presented from our studio.
The Old Abeokuta Motor Road Market, located beside the Agege Main Market, has been sealed by the newly elected chairman of Agege local government, Abdul Ganiyu Obasa. The closure, which took effect on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, has left many traders stranded and lamenting the loss of customers and income due to the locked shops. According to affected shop owners, Lagos State Task Force officials arrived in patrol vans and ordered all traders, especially those operating near drainage extensions, to vacate the area, a directive they said they promptly obeyed. However, a confirmation reportedly broke out between some area boys and the task force officers, leading to the sealing of more than 100 shops. The affected traders and shop owners are now appealing to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to intervene and facilitate the reopening of the market.
This is the 8th day. This happened last week, Tuesday, and it happened between Kai officials. They are here to sanitize the environment. There are people that are illegally, doing business along the road corridors, most especially the railway side. And, Agege presently have a new chairman, new government that is interested in, sanitizing the environment and make it look good and clean. So I think he engaged the KAIS officials to come and clear the corridor. And on the process, there are some minor attacks from, people revolted that this and that, they don't want to, adjust. They don't want to be displaced where they are doing their business. And along the process, there are some, little injuries.
Actually, what came up is strange to every one of us. I think we are here last week Tuesday when the Kai officer came. Initially, when they came, they are just trying to maintain orderliness. That all this extension, they said they brought warning to us before that we should remove those extensions. But when they came, they left our place and go to the other side. We learned that some people went and attacked them to the extent that one of them got injured. So when they are coming back, another day they came to chase everybody away and lock the shop.
It was just sudden on Tuesday morning, last week Tuesday, that we saw their vehicle. They came, they started. It was kind of a war. Brought security officials to shooting tear gas, firing tear gas, that we should start removing it, even by force, without prior notice. They started removing all these extensions, and most of us too, we complied by it, and they sealed up our shops. And since then, we've been going to their office here and there, virtually every day, for them to come out and seal it for us.
After a few days that the commissioner came around here, and then we thought they were going to face the other side, which is the railway line. And then on Saturday evening, around 6 o'clock, some kind people now came around and said that everyone should remove the extension. That was on Saturday evening. Ordinary, not supposed to be official, it's after 6 o'clock. And so on Tuesday morning, early morning, they came with their tractors, with their things, and start demolition. And then along the line, we will hide that maybe there was a small fracas somewhere, because this is like a game market, so you can expect anything.
Reports indicate that each of the sealed shops was locked with a red padlock, with the reopening set to attract a fine of 20,000 naira per shop. Shops locked with 2 padlocks are reportedly required to pay 40,000 naira before reopening. Despite these conditions, the traders say they are ready to comply with the local government's regulations, as their main plea, however, is for the market to be unsealed so they can resume their trading activities and restore their livelihoods.
From Lagos State, we go to Kaduna State, where the police command has arrested 3 suspected child traffickers and rescued 17 children, allegedly being prepared for transportation to Abuja and other parts of the country. Police Public Relations Officer DSP Mansur Hassan disclosed this in a statement issued on Thursday, noting that the children, all minors of various ages, were intercepted in Zaria following credible intelligence. According to the statement, the suspects are Musa Shuaibu, age 21, from Funto, Katsina State, Sani Mohamed, age 23, from Ungawa, Katsina State, and Mubarak Ismail, age 20, from Ungawa Uku, Kano State. Hassan said the suspects confessed to bringing the children from different locations and were making arrangements to transport them to Abuja and possibly beyond before their arrest. He also added that all the rescued children are in good health and currently under the care of the command as efforts continue to trace and reunite them with their parents or guardians. The Commissioner of Police CP Rabiu Muhammad commended operatives of the Danmargaji Division in Zaria for their swift action, reaffirming the command's zero tolerance for child trafficking and exploitation. He further assured that investigations are ongoing to uncover and dismantle the wider network behind the crime. In business, Africa's richest man and President Chief Executive of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, has announced a landmark $1 billion investment deal in Zimbabwe. Speaking with journalists after meeting with President Emerson Mnangagwa in Harare on Wednesday, Dangote said the agreement covers major projects in cement production, power generation, and a petroleum pipeline. He explained that the inclusion of the pipeline component significantly raises the total value of the investment and revealed that the group is planning additional ventures in the southern African country. Dangote commended the Mnangagwa administration for improving governance and transparency, saying ongoing economic reforms have strengthened investor confidence in Zimbabwe. The new deal revives Dangote's earlier plans from 2015 to establish a $400 million cement plant with a capacity of 1.5 million tons per annum. With this move, Zimbabwe joins a growing list of African countries hosting Dangote's investments, including Ethiopia and Zambia. Away from Nigeria, Cameroon's government has updated the death toll from last month's post-election protests, reporting 16 fatalities and over 800 arrests as of Wednesday. However, independent estimates differ significantly. Data from 2 United Nations sources suggest that at least 48 civilians were killed during the demonstrations, while opposition groups claim the toll stands at 55. Human Rights Watch condemned the crackdown, accusing police of using lethal force, committing killings, and arbitrarily detaining hundreds. The NGO reported that many protesters were shot dead, while dozens more sustained gunshot injuries. Some 2,000 people remain in detention across the country, with many yet to appear before a judge. The unrest erupted after the announcement that President Paul Biya had won an 8th term in office in the October 12 election, which opposition parties and supporters alleged was rigged. At 92 years old, Biya is the world's oldest sitting leader. Many young Cameroonians have voiced a desire for political change. And in sports, In a dazzling display of linguistic mastery and mental dexterity, Team Nigeria stamped its dominance on the opening day of the 2025 World English Language Scrabble Players Association Championship West Park in Accra, Ghana, reaffirming its global supremacy in the mind sport. According to a statement by Maxwell Kumoye, spokesperson of the Nigerian Scrabble Federation, Nigeria's 20-man contingent made a thunderous start among 129 elite players from 28 nations, with 6 Nigerians breaking into the top 20 after day 1. Leading the charge is Bayelsa's Timi Woko, who ended the day undefeated with a perfect 7-0 record. Claiming the top spot on the global leaderboard, he was closely followed by Judge Ezinore 4th, Godwin Victor 8th, and Rex Ogbakba 10th, all from Delta State, while Oluwatimilehin Doko 11th of Ogun and Chinedu Thop of 16th of Anambra completed Nigeria's commanding presence. Held at the Palms by Eagles Hotel, the championship drew over 250 of the world's best players for the battle of brains and vocabulary, featuring events such as the Akwaba Challenge, Sika Gold Challenge, and the Westpac main event. Nigeria's early dominance underscored its methodical preparation, competitive discipline, and long-standing leadership in global Scrabble, outpacing nations like Singapore, Ghana, South Africa, the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada in both representation and performance. And that wraps up news updates at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do us for social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.